guys finally were able to get a win over Missouri on third try in the last 3 years. What's it like to finally be able to go out there and put a game together against them and come out on top?
I think it's really rewarding for us to finally get that win. We've been wanting it for a while now, and I think it really just shows how much grit we have, not letting up when they started pushing us back and going into 5. It's a lot of pressure, but I think we thrive in pressure, and I just think it's a very rewarding feeling that we didn't back down during the whole game. So.
And Elizabeth, last year in this same tournament setting, you lost to these 3 teams, all 3 of them. You get 2 out of 3 this time around. How much does that show the growth of this group over the last year?
Yeah, I think we talked about it right away going into this tournament that these were matches we wanted back last year. So being able to come out and finish out 2-1, I think we're all really proud of that.
And Brooklyn, the battle that you guys went through tonight, I mean, you had played a 3-set match Friday, a 3-set match Saturday, and now a 5-setter, and to be able to pull it out in that 5th set, how does that speak to your guys' resiliency and endurance to be able to play 3 straight, days and then to get the big 5-set win in the final day?
I think it speaks a lot. I know I was feeling it this morning. I know some other people are feeling it, but I mean, we're here all summer. We trained all summer for it, and I thought we went out and did what we needed to do.
So Brooklyn, just 46 assists, 21 digs tonight. Just talk about your ability to set up teammates through the game tonight.
Oh gosh, I don't like talking about myself. I thought I did a good job of getting a lot of people involved. Got some new looks out there, and I don't know, I just played confident. Had my team behind me.
Yep, and then Elizabeth, it seemed like you were everywhere along that front line, getting those kills tonight. Just talk about what you saw in the Missouri defense that led you to being able to get 22 kills tonight and just have successful offensive output.
I think it goes back to B. I think she distributed the ball really well. She found seams or allowed me to find seams in the block, and getting our middles involved and Amy involved too. Like, I think that just helps to find areas in the court and seams in the block.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Lolo, just you've been here 5 years. To see the team, last year was 0-3, 2-1 this year. Just throughout your time here, just seeing the growth and being able to get a result like you guys were able to this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, this being my 5th year, I played with a lot of girls, and I think starting out this year very strong. I think our team has great chemistry. We're all great on and off the court. We're very close, and I think we all just have the same mindset for what we want to accomplish this season, and so that helps us be very competitive on the court. So.
And Brooklyn, how much did getting to work under Madison the last couple of years help prepare you for a moment like this in a big match where you're able to get 46 assists and a bunch of digs and distribute the ball so well?
Mm-hmm. I think it was great having her to look up to. I looked up for her for 2 years now, and I don't know, she pushed me, I pushed her. It was great. We were battling out every day. I saw what she could do, and I wanted to do it, so.
And for each of you, you get to work with your coach every day, now the all-time winningest coach at this school. In your eyes, looking back to when you were recruited and now to this point, what makes your coach so special to you each individually?
I think the biggest thing for me was that I knew she was going to push me every single day at practice, every single game. She's not soft. She really pushes us, and she'll tell us, what we need to work on, how we need to fix things. And I think that's what makes our program so great is that she's always putting that. She's accountable. She really tells us what we need to fix and what we need to work on, and I think that's important for our program. Clearly, as we've been doing well every single year now.
Yeah, Leanne was a huge reason why. I came here, and every day, she cares so much about us as people on and off the court, and she wants us to be good volleyball players and good humans. She really holds, like Lolo said, holds us accountable in every area of life, and being the coach that she is, she doesn't let us slack. She really wants us to be the best versions of ourselves every single day. So.
Go ahead and answer. I think what you see is what you get. There's nothing that she does differently in front of everyone else. She cares a lot about us as people. I've had a lot of tough conversations with her, and I know that she cares about me and wants the best for me as a person and as a volleyball player.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I still feel like I'm maybe a little bit speechless. I think my heart is still racing a lot right now. I'm just really proud of this team and what we've battled through to get to where we are just right now. Obviously everybody doesn't see all the hours that they put in behind the scenes through preseason, in our exhibition, and then coming back and trying to learn and get better and failing often, and learning from that failure. And so I'm really proud of them for going into this tournament. Obviously hosting helps, being at home helps, being in front of our fans helps, but at the same time, this is a really tough tournament. So I know somebody mentioned that we went 0-3 last year, and I think we've all wanted a few of these matches back. So going into this weekend, I don't think they came easy. They did not come easy, but I felt like our team really battled through, got better as the weekend went on in a lot of ways. And I just think it starts to show how difficult we can be to play, when we're at our best. So, and even when we weren't at our best, I felt like we really stayed together. We stayed, I think, cohesive as a team. We continued to communicate. We just weren't always executing at as high of a level, but there was some really good volleyball being played on both sides in different portions of that match. But I think especially that fifth set, they were playing really good defense. We got quite a few really good defensive plays where we just kept trying to give ourselves that one more swing. And we talk about that a lot of just, it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be perfect. We have to give ourselves a chance. And we did that, and I think people in the stands know now, but some of our favorite plays is when it is kind of an errant dig and somebody runs it down and puts up a really good ball cross court to one of our attackers, and we're able to get a kill, whether it's a hard driven ball, whether it's off the block, whether it's a tip. And we had a few of those tonight. And I think that's when our bench goes the craziest, because we talk about it so much in practice. And if I'm being honest, we weren't great at it early on in the season. So to see it kind of progress already to where we're at now is a really cool thing. But I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of the staff for putting in the hours that they have to be able to work through tournaments. Tournaments are difficult, but obviously really happy. Feel like we can all walk out of the gym today feeling good about what we battled through and how we found a way to have success there at the end.
And Coach, Brooklyn really stepped up tonight, and she performed all weekend, but, the aggressiveness on the offense's end, she had the 6 kills as well as the 46 assists, but also being able to dig out balls really well. I mean, to see her progress so well in her first 3 starts, without Madison here, how do you feel she's progressed?
I mean, I think most people probably saw it, but I think she got better with every single match. I think against Louisville, she still did some good things, but I think it's her first real start at home, and there were probably some nerves there. And then I thought yesterday she was better, and then I thought today she was better again, taking some chances, getting people the ball in, I think pretty good situations the majority of the time. She's taking feedback really well, and with her, she just doesn't have all that experience that obviously Madison had during her time here, and Madison didn't either when she first started. So you need to have somebody that's willing to take that feedback, take that criticism, and really run with it. And I just feel like she took that really well. I think it was at the beginning of the third set, I had told her, like, hey, you need to be offensive. You need to find a way. I mean, they weren't paying attention to her at all. And so to end with 6 kills, I think she maybe only had 1 up until that point. So 5 in the last 3 sets, and I think she probably could have scored more. So it's something that we can talk about. It's just not second nature to her. That's something that she has to continue to learn, but the situations that she used it were really good. So, but I mean, I didn't even realize it, but 21 digs, it's pretty silent, 21 digs, but she took care of the ball, and I think she probably won a couple of those back too that she didn't dig. So she really did. She got better as the weekend went on. I think she got more confident as the weekend went on, and it showed. And I think her hitters were able to have success because of that too.
And just the consistency of Elizabeth. I mean, we all know what she's done over the last 3 years, but do it night in, night out, did it all 3 nights this weekend. I mean, how important is that to have somebody that can be as consistent as she is through a change that you've lost a couple people from last year and things like that?
I mean, it's huge for our team. I think everybody on our team would say that as well, of just she's a big piece, to the puzzle. And that doesn't mean that other people aren't having success. I mean, Evelyn really came on in those last 2 sets, but, we needed her to, and I think she, part of it was the pressure was off of her for a little bit, and I think she took advantage of it, but I think having somebody like Elizabeth, and one, I will say I think she's playing her best volleyball right now. And you obviously want that as they continue to get older, the more experience that they have, the more she's learning. But I just feel like she's early on in the season has taken, I think, a little bit of pressure off herself, and in a lot of ways, it's helped her. She doesn't expect herself to be perfect, but she does expect a lot out of herself. And I think with that, she's able to get involved offensively from the front row, from the back row, but, even defensively, 9 digs, but I felt like there were some really timely digs that she had. And blocking-wise, I think that's the one thing that's going to frustrate her is I think people know she's a really good blocker, so people don't hit at her very often. They're trying to avoid her a lot. And but I think that's good for us too, because it's channeling those attackers to our defense a little bit more, and it puts us into a position to have success on that way. So she's done well. Obviously, I know that she hopes to continue that, but she still has things that she's going to continue to learn, and obviously where she's starting at now is a good level, and hopefully we can continue to push her forward.
All right, Coach. So able to win the first 2 sets there tonight. It seemed like Missouri got a bit tighter defensively on the front line with their blockers on defense. So I'm just talking about the challenges that their defense presented and how your team was able to overcome them throughout the night.
Yeah. So I do think that every time you play a new opponent, you can watch film, but until you really see it in person, it's just different. Whether it's the angles that people can attack, the pace of people's setting, it can take some time. So I think that they struggled a little bit with it in sets 1 and 2, but we also served the ball really well in sets 1 and 2. I want to say we actually had 7 aces and 1 error at the end of set 2, so then to finish with 3 and 6, obviously not exact. I think we flipped it a little bit, but with that, we got them out of system a lot, and we were in system at a pretty decent clip there. So I think they made some adjustments. Blocking wise, they got more touches on our attackers, and they ran some balls down. I mean, they weren't all easy, but they did some really good things in the backcourt, and it made us have to work for things on the back end too. And I actually think that's where in set 3 we struggled a little bit. We were used to some of those balls going down, getting kills in those moments, and instead they were digging them and transitioning out of it, and we just didn't seem as prepared. So we worked through it, we got better, but again, to come out in the 5th set and play to that level, I mean, we hit 400 in the 5th set, again, had to make some really big defensive plays, and that's what this is about. But I love the fact that we played such high-level volleyball across the entire tournament in Vermillion this weekend.
And then just in that 5th set, you jump out to the big lead. Missouri makes their push. What does an experience like that do for, as far as winning the game, for the confidence of your team?
Oh, yeah, I mean, as a coach, it always goes through your mind early on in the season of doing everything you can to win those first 5 setters, because it's a different feel, it's a different type of energy, and there's a different stress level to it, at times too. I mean, I even myself caught myself getting a little bit too crazy, so I had to sit down for a minute and, collect myself for a minute, but it really comes down to competing at a high level and not waiting for things to be perfect, and I felt like our team did that really well.
And Coach, we talked about just the growth of the program on Friday night after the Louisville game, but did you ever see yourself getting to the point where you are now with the growth of the program to be the winningest coach when you took this job?
I wouldn't say I thought about it from that aspect in terms of myself. With the team, yes. I mean, with the team, since the day I took the job, I wholeheartedly believed that we could do more than what we had done at that point. And, that's why I was so passionate about staying and trying to fight for that head coaching spot. And it's why I've been so passionate, I think, about staying here and being a part of that and really helping build something. I mean, there's something really special about that. So myself, no. From a team, from a program standpoint, absolutely. And Michael, of course, had to say something to the team when I walked in to the huddle, but it's every athlete that has come through here. It's every student athlete that has trusted us and myself to help them through from the time that they're freshmen to the time that they graduate. And it's nights like tonight where they just compete and try to find that next level. So I know the players talked about the fact that I push them, and I do. I really try to hold them to a high standard, but we recruit people that want that, and we recruit people that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and that's where I think this program is at, and I'm really proud to be a small part of it. It is every student athlete that has come through here from 2009 when I was an assistant to now, and then alumni that we've met, before my time here, that work through playing at the high school and work through warming up with 3 volleyballs. I mean, the stories we've heard are incredible, and it's so great to know that we have that support as a program, from people in the past to people now to obviously future student athletes that will be a Coyote as well.
And if you wrap in, your time as assistant here, you've been here basically the entire duration of the Division I history for USD. So to be able to say, in the last 13 or so years, you guys have been able to grow to the point where you're beating teams like Missouri, hosting teams like Louisville. Is that kind of crazy to think about as well, that in how much this program's grown in the last 13 years from that sense?
Oh, I think it's a little surreal. I'm going to admit this for a second, is going into today, these are matches that we expect to be able to win. And I think you look at this program even 6 years ago, these are matches that are like, we have a chance. We get to play a Power 5 opponent, and now when we go into those matches, we wholeheartedly believe that we should win those. And I think I'm not taking anything away from Missouri or Louisville. We knew was going to be a challenge, but we feel like that's the level we can be at. And again, as from a program standpoint, that belief is so important to be able to continue to take that next step and to continue to increase the level of play that we're at. And honestly, I'm thrilled that we're here right now because we do have inexperience. We have some players that don't have that on-court experience yet in some very, very key roles, and we worked through it, and we just got better and better and better, and we found ways to score points. So I think it's incredible where we're at now, and this is year 14 for me overall, and I could not be, again, more proud of everything that we've accomplished to this point, and I'm just looking forward to continuing and seeing what else we can do.
My last question for you is, you talk a lot about wanting to grow the sport of volleyball and the awareness of the sport of volleyball. Why is that so important to you, and how do you try and continue to do that, day in, day out, game in, game out, that type of thing?
Well, I think how you do it is play tournaments like this. You bring good volleyball to Vermillion, you put out a team that competes at a high level. People want to be a part of that, and I think every day, Sundays are hard, okay, I get that. Sundays are hard, but we still had almost 900 people here today on a Sunday, which, I don't fully know, but that might be a record for a Sunday. And being able to continue to get people to come back and just see the level of athleticism and physicality that volleyball has. I just think that volleyball has grown so much in the last decade especially, but it's grown so much in the Midwest and it's grown so much in the state of South Dakota that people are more aware of it. And, it's continuing to hear people say like, yeah, I didn't really know if I wanted to come to volleyball. My friends kept trying to get me to come and I kept putting them off, but I came to one game and I was hooked, because there's a physicality to it, athleticism to it that I don't think everybody sees until they see it in person. So it's important to me because I love it. It's important to me because I want our student athletes to have that experience of playing in front of people. But it's also important to me because as a student, I loved being a part of athletic events. I loved being a part of something bigger. I think there's such a pride factor to it that's why it's important. But if we continue to do our job, I think we're going to continue to grow.